Here I'm asked to use the table to write an equation for x of k in terms of k. So when I'm looking at this, the first thing I want to check is what is the relationship between my x of k values. I see that the k is just going up by 1, which is great. The x of k, however, I got to figure out if it's the same every time or if it's different, because when I notice that this is just going up by the same amount every time, remember that means I have a constant rate of change, which means that that is a slope. And so I know that my equation is linear, or a line, which I can remember to use y equals mx plus b to help me with that. Although instead of y, I'm using x of k. Instead of x, I'm using k. But I still really just need to find the slope and the y-intercept. So slope here is going to be whatever the rate of change is, which I'm already told or figured out is 0.5. Now I got to figure out what the y-intercept is. A couple ways of doing it. I'm actually going to go through both. The first way, and what I think is the easier way, is because, let's do this in red, because I know that I'm going up by 0.5 every time, I know the y-intercept, or the b value, is when x is equal to 0. And so really, I'm just going to plug in 0 over here on my table and figure out what do I get here. And so if I'm going backwards by 1 every time and I get to 0, well, then I just have to reverse and figure out what I'm going to end up with. So instead of adding 0.5 to this, I'm going to subtract 0.5. So really that tells me that this b value is going to be equal to 1 in this one. So my final answer is x of k equals 0.5k plus 1. Now, the second possibility is like if we get, I'm going to do the second one in blue here. If we get to this point, we could always just like plug in one of the values from my equation, right? So let's say 2 and 2. That looks like nice and easy. I'm going to plug in 2 for x of k. I'm going to plug in 2 for k. And then I'm just going to solve for b. So I get 2 equals 1 plus b. And then I subtract 1 from both sides. And I get b equals 1. Just another way to do it. Whatever works for you is fine. In the end, we should be writing our linear equation like so.